If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and also check out all the social media and affiliate links in the description. Check out the Norton Secure VPN affiliate link below if you want to help secure your private information like your passwords, bank details, and your credit card numbers on your PC, Mac, or mobile device. Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Kingdom Hearts 3. This debate's been going on ever since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, but what if I told you that this is an impossible debate? There's never going to be a definitive consensus on this debate. There will only be those who like Kingdom Hearts 2 more, and those who like Kingdom Hearts 3 more. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't like both, but you'll most likely favor one over the other. Or if you do like them equally, it might be for different reasons. The reason this debate is impossible because these games are so different in design that it makes it so hard to compare it. Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't play like Kingdom Hearts 2 because Square Enix had no intention of making it like Kingdom Hearts 2. From the beginning, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be its own thing, just like KH1 and KH2. These three games focus on completely different things when it comes to game design. It isn't even really a debate on which game is better or not, but just which game design appeals to you more. To clearly show what I mean, I'll talk about how the numbered titles handle game design.
Okay.
So it all started out with Kingdom Hearts 1. I believe that this game's main design focus was to make it seem like you're really diving into the Disney worlds that many people love. They wanted to make an adventure-ish kind of game, allowing you to interact with the worlds. You're able to fight, but that's not the only thing you're going to be doing. You'll also be sliding down trees with Tarzan or swimming around with Ariel. You'll be platforming across living, breathing worlds. The worlds have many cool little details in them. A good example would be Traverse Town, where there's so many things you can interact with. You can use magic to affect the worlds in many different ways. For example, you could light fireplaces in Traverse Town, or you could freeze the water orbs in Hollow Bastion, or even use the gravity spell to bring down floating treasure chests. There's even a scale in Traverse Town that actually changes depending on when you step on it or not. Like, that's a tiny detail that really didn't need to be there, yet it's there. As I said, the game does have combat, and it works well enough, but you probably won't be blown away by it.
Let's go! Move it!
You got what's hanging on to the way!
Right!
Now on to Kingdom Hearts 2. You'd think that for a sequel, Square Enix would probably want to just expand on what they have so that they can, build on what they have, build on their new successful series. But no, they decided to completely change the focus. Now, of course, you're still going to be going through many worlds, but I think everyone can agree that Kingdom Hearts 2 was mainly focused on the combat. This time, the overall combat and battle design is so much better than Kingdom Hearts 1. Pretty much the entire game is encounter after encounter with your new combat style. You're going to be mainly fighting this whole game, and it works because the game makes every encounter unique and exciting. On top of the base battle system, you now have new mechanics like drive forms, limits, and reaction commands. In Kingdom Hearts 1, your only options were the normal combo, magic, and summons. With Kingdom Hearts 2, each drive form gives you a different unique moveset that specializes in different battle styles. You'll also get extra movement abilities in the base form as you level the other forms up. Then we have limits, which are basically team attacks with you and your party members. Reaction commands are commands that are unique to each enemy you face. This game is by far my favorite Kingdom Hearts game because, well, the combat's my favorite part of Kingdom Hearts. However, along with the better combat system, we got a much worse level design. The worlds don't really feel like they're alive. They're mainly just a bunch of rooms that you fight enemies in. There's no platforming or unique terrains or mechanics outside of things like the merry-go-round in Christmas Town or the ship ambushes in Port Royal. I will say that the sections with skateboards really make moving around faster and feel a lot cooler. But yeah, this game was mainly concerned with the combat. Now on to Kingdom Hearts 3. I think this game mainly focuses on scale, spectacle, and being able to destroy hordes of enemies. Kingdom Hearts 3 has huge and expansive worlds. They're the biggest that these worlds have ever been. Now these worlds are no longer just rooms, but they feel like large spaces like forests, mountains, or oceans. They also do have some activities that bring you into the field of Disney Worlds, but some of them are mini games which I'm personally not a fan of. Things like shield sledding, dancing, Olaf finding, or whatever 100 Acre Wood was supposed to be. But they also have better ones like sailing, laser dodging, rail grinding, and Baymax flying. In terms of combat, we actually have a lot to work with. They pretty much took mechanics from every Kingdom Hearts game and put it in there, along with some extras. Shot locks and form changes like in Birth by Sleep, flow motion from Dream Drop Distance, Keyblade leveling from Coded, and of course the base mechanics that came from Kingdom Hearts 1. While Kingdom Hearts 3 didn't really add a completely new battle mechanic, it not only mixed the old ones but made some changes to them so that they feel fresh. Kingdom Hearts 3 is more concerned with giving you as many options as you can, making it so that you get new moves often. However, since this game doesn't solely focus on the combat, there are many times where you do things that aren't fighting, and I think this is where Kingdom Hearts 2 comes out on top in terms of combat scenarios. Since there are so many of them in Kingdom Hearts 2, they really had to work on how to make each one feel more unique and memorable. Another thing to note is that Kingdom Hearts 2 has a risk and reward system to the combat. Like for example, in Kingdom Hearts 2, if you're using something other than the normal combo, it'll cost you something. Like for example, if you're using a limit, it'll cost your entire MP gauge, or if you're using a drive form, it'll cost your drive gauge. You know, you usually have to give something up in order for power. However, in Kingdom Hearts 3, everything is handed to you at no cost, you just simply gotta attack. However, it's not like Kingdom Hearts 3 or Osaka team aren't able to make fights that are as good as Kingdom Hearts 2. If you take a look at the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, where it's literally just a bunch of fights, you can see that the quality and uniqueness of each encounters skyrocket. I think this is the part where you could really compare it to Kingdom Hearts 2, since, well, they're trying to accomplish the same thing, and Kingdom Hearts 3 accomplishes it really well. Each boss fight is unique, and you gotta learn how each boss's mechanics works if you want to stand a chance. You can't approach Luxord like you would approach Yozora, and you can't approach Terranort like you would Sayax. But anyway, on top of all that, I'd like to also add that Kingdom Hearts 3 is very vertical in its design in general. You'll find yourself running up walls and fighting bosses in the air. Since they did plan for there to be a lot of air combat, thankfully they gave Sora an air block without the need of a barrier, so that's a plus. Hopefully by now you can see the point I'm trying to make. From the way these games are designed, someone who's a diehard Kingdom Hearts 2 fan is never going to think that Kingdom Hearts 1 or 3 are better, though they might find themselves enjoying the DLC. And it also goes for Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 3 fans too. While we can all enjoy those games, there are only some that focus on aspects that we care about the most. But I'm actually pretty optimistic for Kingdom Hearts 4. Assuming they build on top of what they already have, they can make better designed worlds as well as better combat and boss design, which will make it have a shot at being unanimously the best Kingdom Hearts game in all aspects. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys, learn something, or at least have a different perspective on the entire Kingdom Hearts 2 versus Kingdom Hearts 3 thing, and Kingdom Hearts 1 versus Kingdom Hearts 2 thing, the whole debate thing. I hope you have a different perspective on it now. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about, the future of the franchise, and who knows, maybe there might be a game that I like better than Kingdom Hearts 2 at some point. If they apply the Kingdom Hearts, if they apply the knowledge and, experience from the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC, then the next game is going to have really good combat, and that's exciting. But I do hope that they don't downgrade the world design to account for the combat. So I'm hoping the next game has a good mix of both, because I think it's possible to have both, right? You can have good combat and good level design, so hopefully in the next game they have both of it down and they can just create the best Kingdom Hearts game they could ever make. And but yeah, that's all for today. What are you guys' favorite Kingdom Hearts games in terms of the main 1, 2, and 3? I mean, you could say whatever your favorite Kingdom Hearts games, but since this video is mainly about 1, 2, and 3, which one's your favorite from those, and why? What do you value most in Kingdom Hearts in terms of not counting the story or anything like that, in terms of just the game part? What do you value most in Kingdom Hearts? Is it the combat? Is it exploring the worlds and all of that? Talking to Disney characters? Let me know in the comments, and we can talk about all that. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.